Is there a top guy that you didn't mind playing?
I mean, I only played Roger once and he toyed with me.
All right, everyone. I'm Sam Querrey. I'm joined today by Denis Shapovalov. This is an exclusive conversation brought to you by Stella Artois. Denis, thanks for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Career high number 10 in the world, semifinals of Wimbledon 2021, 4 titles, including 2 last year. You have a game that has a lot of flair. It's exciting to watch. You got the big serve. You've got the exciting ground strokes. Was that something that you've always had, or did that game style evolve over the last 15 years?
Yeah, I feel like it's always been kind of my brand or the way I grew up playing. My mom always wanted me to play aggressively. I think I kind of grew into that more and more as my career went on. But for sure, from a young age, I was always trying to be as effective as possible, and trying to go for my serves and find my way to the net.
Would you watch people like, Federer and the other guys that like shot makers and say like, all right, I want to play like that?
Yeah, definitely Roger was a big one for me. I always saw him playing a lot against Rafa in the finals of, slams and big tournaments. And for sure, I always kind of appealed to Roger, obviously having a one-handed backhand as well. And just the game style in general as well. Yeah, I always wanted to play aggressively like him.
This is like one of my favorite questions to ask. When you had that semifinal run to Wimbledon, was there a moment during that tournament where you thought that you could win the tournament? Because I always feel like when I played tournaments, only one time in my career did I actually feel like I could win a slam. It was this U.S. Open in 2017. Was there a moment for you during that run where you said, you know what, I could win this?
Yeah, I think that was a bit of the issue against Novak. I kind of got an early break on him in that semifinals, and before the match, I thought, okay, obviously against Novak, I don't have many chances, but I'll try to see what I can do against him. I honestly felt like I was outplaying him at the majority of the first set, and a little bit, maybe a little too confident in that moment. He kind of stayed with me, was able to break me back and get that first set. So that killed a little bit of confidence, and I kind of felt in that moment like, okay, like I'm outplaying the best grass court player at the time. I felt like I could definitely win this match, and who knows, in the finals anything can happen. So yeah, it's definitely one of those experience losses.
Yeah. Speaking of Novak, who's the toughest opponent you've ever played? Is it him? Is there one guy when you're like the draw comes out and you're playing Novak, you're like, dang it, like this is the guy?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of great players and tricky players, but for me, I would have to go with Novak just because of the record. I think I'm 0-9 or something against him. I know I played him a bunch in a short amount of time when I was kind of just coming up, so I think that was a little bit tricky, but I just haven't been able to get over the line with him. We've had a lot of close matches, but I've never been able to beat him.
You're running out of time. You got to
I know, exactly.
Hopefully in the next year or so.
For sure.
Is there a top guy that you didn't mind playing? Like for me, it was actually Rafa. Even though he beat me most of the time, I always felt like I can kind of play with him a little bit. You've obviously beaten Rafa, but is there another one of those top guys that you didn't mind playing?
I mean, I only played Roger once, and he toyed with me. I felt like an absolute junior on the court with him. So I would have to.
Where'd you play him?
I played him in Miami in the semis.
Okay.
The year after we played the one in the new venue, and I mean, I didn't play bad, but he toyed with me. I feel, I would say the same. I felt like Rafa. I felt like when he was playing too good, it was too good, but I knew what he was gonna do, so I kind of knew how to hurt him, and I knew how to beat him. And when he did, the things that he does well, when he executed well, there's nothing I could do, but I felt like I had a lot of chances against him. I beat him on clay the year before. I kind of had him there at Rome, and obviously I beat him in Montreal the first time. So yeah, he's for sure the one I had most success with.
Your one-handed jump backhand is like one of the coolest shots in tennis, and you're the only guy that hits that. Was there a moment like growing up where you hit one of those, you're like, like this clicks, I actually have this shot, or did that evolve over time?
Yeah, no, I think it started a little bit as, not as a joke, but I was playing a junior event and I had some knee pain. So I was trying to kind of get away from my right knee. So I started to jump into my backhands, and it just kind of came naturally. And then I started to do it as a joke sometimes in practices when I was coached by Marty Lorando. And I remember I was playing Shanghai one year, and I was super sick the entire week. So, I played the match just kind of kind of playing it loosely, and I hit a jump backhand in the point against Victor Troicki, and the crowd kind of went nuts. So I was like, okay, let me try to hit another one in that point. Ended up hitting a winner, and from then on, yeah, I saw that the crowds kind of liked it, so I tried to do it once in a while when I got the opportunity.
I used to do this. Like, I would sometimes, if I knew I played a good match, I hit shots, I'd go back and watch the YouTube highlights. Do you ever do that with yourself? If you're like, all right, that match, I hit a bunch of like jumping one-handers, sick forehands, and go back and watch your own highlights?
Sometimes, yeah, not for the jump backhands, but try to see what I was doing well. Yeah, of course. I feel like the jump backhand is not something I try to correct or teach myself how to hit. I just kind of do it for flair and when I'm feeling it. So, but yeah, it's nice to see in the highlights. It's definitely kind of cool looking shot.
It definitely is. You came on the scene, give or take, about 10 years ago. You had that great run in Canada.
From one great one to one great performance.
Was there a moment going back 10 years ago where it clicked in your head and you kind of thought like, okay, I'm good enough to be a top 20 player?
I think, yeah, for me, it didn't really click the first year. Like when the first time when you make a lot of points, I think a lot of guys have this problem. They kind of have it in their back of their heads that they need to defend those points, and you don't really feel like you've solidified your place on tour. So I think the first moment for me was actually in Madrid the following year when I was able to make another semifinals of a Masters and kind of solidify those points from Montreal. That's when I kind of felt like, okay, I do have a good game and hopefully I'm able to stay here and progress even further.
Is there one win in particular that sticks out for you as like, that is my signature win that I've had over my career?
My win against you, man, in Miami. And that was a great one.
Yeah, no, that was a huge win.
I've got ice in my veins, says Shapovalov.
Out on grandstand. What about? Or let me rephrase the question. Of the 4 titles, do you have a favorite one? Is it the run in Dallas where you took out all the top tenors along the way?
Actually, no. I would say my win in Belgrade was very important for me. I think, coming back from an injury, I had a very tough year. It was brutal. I had some good wins, but wasn't able to find consistency. And it was the last week of the year. So to come, first of all, from qualifying at that tournament and kind of consistently beat good players and win that finals, it meant a lot for me. And I think Dallas, it kind of just rolled in from that Belgrade tournament.
The wait is over for Denis Shapovalov. 5 years after his one and only title on the ATP Tour.
Put yourself in the mindset of a fan. If you had to buy a ticket front row to watch someone right now, it's got to be someone that plays now, so you can't pick Federer, Nadal. Who are you picking, or who are you buying a ticket to watch front row?
For sure, Carlos.
Yeah.
I think the guy is just so much fun to watch. Every match that he plays, he's going to come up with some crazy points. I like watching his highlights just because I feel like the guy is always producing something insane, no matter the match. So it's a lot of fun to watch.
Have you played Carlos?
Twice, I think. Yeah, he's schooled me both times. So
Did he ever have any of those moments when you were playing against him where he hit like one of the impossible shots or hyped up the crowd?
Yeah, well, first time we played was the year I was coming back from the injury. We played at Roland Garros nighttime. So it wasn't, the best time for me to play, and I felt like I was playing amazing tennis, and I couldn't win a game in the first set. I was down 5-0. I think I won my first game at 5-0, and I felt like every game, every point was like insane quality. And then we played in Indian Wells, also a place where he enjoys to play, and it kind of started off the same way. I felt like I was playing good, and from the first game, the guy was hitting crazy passes, crazy shots, so it was a bit tough to keep up with him, but yeah, I mean, he's really, really good player, and yeah, tough to play against.
Yeah, no, he's a good watch, just like you are. I want to pivot a little bit to the serve. You've got one of the best serves in tennis. The few times that I've commentated one of your matches, I compare you to Gumby. I don't know if you remember that guy, like the little green character who's got like this like loose arm. You've got a very loose arm, lefty serve. Did the serve always come natural to you, or is that something you worked on meticulously growing up and still work on?
I worked on it a lot. Of course, it was always a weapon for me, and being lefty, I knew it was going to be a big advantage, but I spent a lot of time working on the serve. I remember when I was young, my mom has like, you call it a tennis club. It's an industrial building. So she put tennis courts inside of there. So it's pretty tight, and the walls are pretty close. So we would put targets on the wall so that the serve would have to bounce in the box and actually hit the targets on the walls to really get the ranges on both the serves. Yeah. So I remember there was nights where it was like 10, 11, 12, and at nights we were working on the serves, and my coach was making sure that I hit those targets. And, if I couldn't hit the targets, we wouldn't leave the court, So it was a lot of practices where I was crying and wanting to go home, but we had to stay out there and hit those targets.
It's paid off. Is there one piece of serving advice you'd give to like a fan, if there's one thing that you think is most important?
I think simplicity is very important on the serve. I think if you start to overcomplicate it, too many things can go wrong. So I'd say simplicity, and just try to work on the targets. If you just try to put a target and try to get the ball there, I think over time you'll start to feel what's working, what's not.
All right, we're going to actually go through some of your serves now. The first one is from 2016. You remember this, I'm sure. Curios.
Yep.
I know it's 10 years ago. Do you remember like going through your head? It's 15-30. It's a huge point. Are you thinking, oh, I loved going wide here, or got to make a first serve? Do you remember the moment?
Yeah, I mean, 15-30 in a big game, I was just thinking, okay, let me try to pull him out wide here with the serve, and kind of helps expose my forehand for the next ball as well, which I really like that play. So definitely, it's a more safer play on my side, something I tend to like to do.
Honestly, it didn't even look like you hit your target that great, but like using the lefty slide, it paid off and you went up the line. Let's go through this one real quick. Again, 10 years ago. Is that one of your favorite serves there? Are you a traditional lefty server, would you say? You like to go T on the deuce, wide on the ad?
For sure. I think there I was going with my safer or more secure targets, definitely. And as well, I'm playing Kyrgios, so I'm trying to stay away from the forehand as much as possible. Yeah. I think at the time, especially. So yeah, I think those things in combination, for sure, I was trying to hit those.
Do you remember where you're going here? Match point?
I almost certain I went wide.
All right, let's see how well you remember.
Oh wow, I went T. All right, I changed it up there.
You went T. Although it was like you kind of missed it again into the Kyrgios forehand, but you played a great point to get it done. Next one here, we're going to go 2019 Stockholm. You're serving for the match. Let's test your memory before we hit play. Do you remember where you hit this serve to win this title?
40 love up, the guy standing in the alley. I'm going to say T, but I'm not sure.
All right, let's see. I want you to go body since he's in. That was T. That could have been a second serve.
Kind of T body. Yeah, I think it was a second.
Into the net.
When you step up to the line in a big moment on the ad side, are you going with whatever kind of just feels right at that time, or do you have like set, like if it's a big moment, you're like, all right, I really like to go here?
No, to be honest, I've always been a player that's kind of in the moment thinking. I like to be unpredictable in that way, so it would kind of just depend on what I'm feeling and yeah, what kind of comes to my mind at that moment, for sure.
All right, we have another one here. This is Cabo from last year. You rolled through this tournament. You can see the final here. Here's match points against Kovacevic, 6-4.
This one I remember was out wide.
Okay, all right, let's see. This one's fresher. This is only a year old. Oh, yeah, and ace out wide at that. That was some of the best tennis I've seen you play. Your score lines that week were pretty lopsided. We got a few more for you here. Here's Dallas. You're playing Davidovich Fokina. Again, match point. There it is. I do feel like on the ad side, your wide serve for a lefty is one of the best over the last few years. Is that one that you naturally liked?
For sure. I think it's a good change-up for me. And I think it's important to have that, because if you have too many guys sitting on the T serve, you need to be able to change it up and play a quick one there. It's not the easiest one, of course, as being a lefty to pronate out, especially I'm not the tallest guy. It's not the easiest one, but I would say I definitely like to use that as a change-up.
Do you think, is there a difference between the 2016 Denis serve compared to the 2026, or are they pretty much the same?
I think it's different. I've always kind of tweaked it and played around with stuff, but I think the core of it is always going to be the same. Yeah. So if anything, I'm always, if I slip away from my serve, I try to watch old videos of where I was serving the best and kind of go back to that.
And finally, if you can have any other serve on tour, you can't have your serve. You got to have someone else's tour. And don't give me John Isner or Petchy Parrott card. You gotta pick someone else's serve. Whose do you want?
I can't go Riley.
Oh, you can't go Riley either. No one over 6'6". That's the rule.
Yeah, I mean, you had a pretty decent serve for sure.
What about current crop?
Oh, current. Okay, so if I go overall, if it was John and everyone, I would go Milos because the way he changed his serve up was unplayable.
Yeah,
and you couldn't tell. Current generation, I would go with. You have to go with Kyrgios, even though he's not really playing so much lately. Or I would go with, who I actually think has improved his serve quite a bit is Yannick Sinner.
Yeah, good one.
I think when he started his career, he didn't really have an effective serve, but lately when I played him in Indian Wells and when I've seen him lately, his serve is really tough.
All right, that's it. Thanks for joining us. Everyone, thanks for watching and joining with the Stella Artois Perfect Serves. Denis, good luck this week in London and also in Wimbledon in a couple weeks.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it.